Greetings, everyone. Now, I've had a couple of people asking lately how to join a Facebook group I have called the Ordnance Brotherhood. I'm sorry to say that the Ordnance Brotherhood is just a way of spreading information. It's not something you can physically join. You can, if you have a clan, join the other clans and help, promote the brotherhood. But the main point of my channel on YouTube and with Facebook groups and Twitter is just to spread the word of the gods. Now you might be wondering to yourself, well, what good's that doing? Well, the more people I get to understand the gods, the more people will come back to our ways. Now, a video I made yesterday or the day before was going on about how we should try more and fight for our rights. And people say, well, how are we going to do that? If we're just a Facebook group, yeah, well, okay. Most groups that you're going to see on Facebook are just Facebook groups. There's no getting away from that. But there is some clans out there, some groups that exist in the physical world, not just on Facebook. I belong to a small clan. It's not important the name of the clan or where it is, but we go out and we actively do rituals. We don't recruit. That's one thing we'll never do, because, the Christians and the Muslims and people like that tend to try and get people to join them, try and convert people. We're not about that. If the gods aren't in your heart, they're not in your heart. It's that simple. If you don't believe, you don't believe. It's no good trying to convince someone to believe. So what we do is, if anyone comes up to us and says, oh, is that Thor's hammer? Or, oh, I like Vikings and stuff like that, don't start talking to them about it. What we will do is, we've got some leaflets. Sometimes we may stand in the market and have leaflets, t-shirts, and if people ask us, then we can, And if we ask them, oh, do you believe in the gods? And if they say no, we don't try and convince them to believe in the gods. So as we say, you either do or you don't. But we try and get people that, if they've got interest in the gods, will help them develop that interest. And what we would like people to do is start small clans off. Every clan can have its own rules, its own rituals. You don't have to follow what people write in books. You don't have to follow what people put in on YouTube. You do your own thing. Everyone honours the gods in their own way. The clan I'm with, we've built up our rituals very slowly, and we're building on them all the time now. We discuss everything, and that's the way it is. They have got a very good looking leader in my clan. I've got to admit that. He is really handsome, and he's got such a nice beard as well. But besides that, we're trying and put a bit of comedy into stuff. We joke on. The leaflets we hand out is a leaflet that I've seen on Facebook where there's two Vikings handing out leaflets saying, do you believe in the All-Father? Have you ever asked yourself questions about them? And just comedy leaflets. And that gets people talking. And we can explain to them the real meaning of the gods, the real meaning of people. And then go out camping and bonding. And that's the way to do it. To encourage people to believe in the gods more. To understand the gods. To know what's real or what's not real. Just because you say it in the book doesn't mean it's real. And Lindisfarne, when all the priests wrote about that, they actually put it down as the wrong date. They put it down as I think it was the 8th of January. But everyone that knows the Vikings know they didn't raid in the winter months. Weather's too bad. So therefore we haven't taken that as the gospel truth. That's a bit of a play on words. The Lindisfarne Gospels, we haven't took it as the gospel truth. Anyway, so we know it was in July, because in Latin, January and July is just one letter different. So, because the books say it's true, doesn't mean it is true. Okay, go your own ways, study your own ways. And if anyone out there wants to advertise on the Ordnance Brotherhood, drop us a line. I'll ask everyone, I'll put on my pages, ask everyone that's in your area to contact you. And, you know, we don't want to step on other people's toes. We don't want to post in other people's groups and say, come and join us, because we're not about joining. You know, if someone says, oh, I live in Sheffield, and we know people in Sheffield, we'll put them in touch. You know, because together we can be strong. That's really all I've got to say today. Try and form some groups, some study groups, you know, and maybe, I don't like politics, but maybe try and get on some local councils, or look at open a temple, but keep training their skills, keep going camping, going to the woods, fishing. You can go hunting without hunting anything. You can walk with your binoculars or your camera and hunt that way, so you get used to keeping the tracking going. Because if what they call the apocalypse comes or whatever, we'll all be back to the old ways. No electricity, no weapons. So, you know, it's good to keep that in our heart, that we haven't lost that knowledge. I do survival, I go out camping, I do reenactment, I do woodwork where I'm just using small hand tools, try not to use electric tools. I try and depend on technology as little as possible, just in case. Plus it feels better when you do it with your hands. You know? Right, that's me ranting enough for the day. It's coming up to Yule shortly, not that long, about 4 weeks till Yule or something. Whoa, lots of adventures. Anyone wants to come to Northumberland and celebrate Yule with me and my clan, come along and do that. Those that are in England are in near Newark. The Ordnance Fellowship have got a temple in Newark. Get in touch with it. I believe it's on something called the Pokemon Trail as well, where something to do with Pokemons, I don't know. But, you know, go to your local temple, go to your local meeting, celebrate Yule together. It's the way our ancestors did it. Okay. May the gods bless you. Bye.